Alright people, it's Sakuraba1982 here, bringing you some gameplay of Rocky Legends. An old school boxing game, a retro boxing game. You're used to me playing Fight Night Champion and more modern boxing games, but I've made a promise to bring you some retro content. This is a game that I never completed in the day. I completed the first Rocky game. I never completed Rocky Legends. I'm going to show you all of Rocky's major opponents, starting here with Spider Rico. Now, Spider Rico is a little bit of a cheat really, because he wasn't a massive opponent, but it's the first time in the franchise you see Rocky in the ring boxing. And it tells you everything you need to know about Rocky Balboa at that point in his life, as well as working as, you know, collecting money off people for who owe money. He's in dire straits. When you see him in the ring with Spider Rico, you can see a glimpse of the fighter he's going to become. You know, he's brawling with Spider Rico in sort of a really shitty venue where people throwing beer bottles in the ring. You know, he's very, very unrefined. He's at the end of his he's past his prime, or passing his prime at that time, and dreams of going nowhere. This was right at the beginning of my playthrough, so I do excuse the lack of technique. It does get better as the playthrough goes on. You're going to notice my commentary is going to dip in and out here, guys. I want you to kind of pick up on the ambience and the cool Rocky music in the background and kind of get lost in the video if you can. Even though this game is kind of old now, when you get an opponent in trouble, the background music kicks in, the Rocky background music, and even though the game's old, it makes you kind of really kind of get into it when you're playing it to finish him off. And you've got visions of Mickey the trainer going, stay down, as Apollo Creed knocks him down in the first film, man. You see what I mean when the music starts? It just really kind of gets you in the mood of Rocky, you know? It's a really nice touch in 2006's Rocky Balboa that Rocky keeps Spider Rico around and lets him eat in his diner for free. It's a nice throwback to the original film and show that it hasn't forgotten its roots, much more than the crappy Rocky 5, let's say.
The winner by knockout, Rocky Balboa!
Okay folks, Spider Rico aside, let's talk about one of Rocky's real opponents. In this game, Rocky Legends, you only fight Apollo Creed once, whereas in the previous iteration of just the Rocky trilogy, you fight him twice, like in Rocky 1 and Rocky 2. So I'm going to have to kind of combine this into one talk. Rocky himself, in the first film, he's just a really tough guy, hits hard and just walks through punches and takes a lot of punishment. Against Carl Weathers, absolutely brilliant casting by the way, plays an awesome character. Almost the only other character I can think of is better than his Apollo Creed would be Dylan in Predator. Rocky in Rocky 1 and 2 is still very much a diamond in the rough. He's just a power puncher, you know, really strong. Apollo Creed gives him a shot at the title. It's kind of a gimmick, kind of a joke, and doesn't take him seriously. The absolutely infamous scene where Rocky's pounding a side of beef in the meat locker. I don't think anyone can ever forget that. And the first film, Rocky doesn't win, but in the second film he comes back and does win. I don't think Rocky changes up too much in Rocky 2. He just hits so hard and manages to wear down Apollo Creed, you know. I think that all comes from Apollo Creed not taking him seriously. He does a lot of body work and hits him that way. Apollo Creed is a good boxer, but I don't think he's the best boxer Rocky faces. Not the biggest challenge. The reason he's such a big challenge is because Rocky is a diamond in the rough at that point in the film trilogy. Pure guts and determination and some direction from Mickey the trainer. Rocky gets the victory against Apollo Creed at the end of Rocky 2 and gets the title.
10, that's it, you're out.
The winner by knockout, Rocky Balboa!
Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T in Rocky 3. Parasites and leeches. Hey, Stallone. Very, very fitting part for a pure slugger, someone who's come up from the from the streets, from prison, and he beats Rocky at what Rocky does. You know, up to this point, Rocky's been surviving on pure guts and power punching alone, and he meets someone who just does what he does, just better, just hits harder, and knocks out Rocky at the beginning of Rocky 3. You know, at that point in time, at the beginning of Rocky 3, Rocky is not equipped to deal with what Clubber is bringing. And it's unfortunately Mickey the trainer suffers a fatal heart attack, and Rocky's scared to fight Clubber, and who can blame him? A really quick bit of fan trivia. If anyone notices in Rocky 3, at the altercation with Clubber Lang and Rocky at the Philadelphia statue of Rocky at the top of the steps, Clubber Lang accidentally shouts Stallone instead of Rocky. He goes, "Hey, Stallone!" And they left that in the film, which is kind of weird because he called him Stallone instead of Rocky. Check it out in Rocky 3. Movie mistakes, here they are. The kind of twist in Rocky 3 is that Apollo Creed, who was Rocky's biggest opponent in Rocky 1 and 2, sees Rocky lose the title and the fact that his trainer died, and comes and helps train Rocky. And Apollo Creed's style is very much based off Muhammad Ali. Pretty much the cockiness, the brashness, the fighting style is essentially Muhammad Ali. And he teaches Rocky how to fight fast, and completes Rocky as a boxer. At the end of Rocky 3 and going into Rocky 4, Rocky is a complete boxer. He can do power punching, he can do speed punching, you know, he can move quicker. And Apollo Creed comes and trains Rocky, and the film is all about Rocky overcoming the fear of getting knocked out by Clubber Lang in the beginning of Rocky 3. So it's a nice thing to see Carl Weathers come back as Apollo Creed. I love his character, and it's good to see him integrated into the story as he is. just because it's a Rocky video, I have to do it at least once. Yo, Adrian! We did it! Adrian! You alright, guys? Just in regards to the fight, Rocky comes back after being trained by Apollo Creed and basically speed boxes Clubber Lang, who's expected to walk in and just slug with him again, and gets the easy victory, knocks him out very quickly. And next is the biggie, Rocky 4.
That's it. You're out.
The winner by technical knockout.
Right, Rocky 4. If you ask anyone about Rocky, they will probably refer to Ivan Drago, Russia, and this is by far the hardest fight Rocky has ever been in as far as opponents go. I mean, there are hard fights where he gets hurt maybe as much. I mean, Apollo Creed, one fight he got absolutely destroyed, but and then you've got sort of in Rocky Balboa, he fights the champ as an old man and gets really hurt. But as far as just pure talent and brutality, Ivan Drago is by far the hardest opponent Rocky ever faces. And by far the cheesiest of all 4 Rocky films. I'll go into that as the commentary goes on. Just want to touch on the story of the Rocky films. A lot of it is about boxing, but the main theme in the Rocky trilogy is actually his love story with Adrian. It's mostly a love story, especially the early Rockies. Rocky 1 is all about how he meets Adrian and kind of wins over Adrian. And we're all going to remember the boxing, but there is a lot more to Rocky than just the boxing. It's one of the most touching film series I think I've ever seen. And I can just watch him again and again and absolutely love it. Anyway, just going to get back to the actual boxing side of it. If he dies, he dies. Right, why is Rocky 4 so cheesy, Sackmeister? I want to start out by saying Rocky 4 is actually my favourite Rocky, even though it's the most over the top. Firstly, you've got Carl Weathers. Apollo Creed comes back for an exhibition bout against Ivan Drago, and he takes such a beating in the ring that he actually kills Apollo Creed in the ring. And the referee's trying to pull Ivan Drago back, and he just keeps punching him. That would never be allowed, you know, it's a little bit over the top. You've got robots and things in Rocky 4. The whole thing is just 80s cheese, you know, just gorgonzola cheese. But I love the film for that, you know, it's got the best soundtrack, the training montage. Rocky goes, you know, into the country and trains with rocks and logs, and Ivan Drago's got steroids and is in the gym. It's pure sort of Cold War. That was a time when the Cold War was high, you know, in the 80s everyone was scared of it, so it was kind of cheesy, especially when Rocky goes in and fights in Russia, and the crowd actually starts cheering for Rocky by the end of the fight, you know. It is proper cheese, but it is absolute movie gold, and that's why it's my favourite Rocky. You're watching the fight in Russia with Ivan Drago against Rocky Balboa, and it's just punch for punch. It's absolutely brutal. You're sitting there watching it, just saying, no human being, no robot, no superhero could take the sort of punches these two are taking backwards and forwards. They batter each other all the way through this match. You know, absolutely superhuman. And by the end of the fight, sort of Ivan Drago's corner tapping him on the shoulder saying, don't you dare lose, and he throws his, you know, the politicians out and says, I fight for me. You know, all adds to the cheese. It's just, as far as raw attributes go, there's no opponent out there that can match Rocky punch for punch when he's at his prime, like Ivan Drago and Rocky 4. You know, this is the best the series ever is, Rocky 4, cheese or no cheese. But as far as opponents go, this is by far Rocky's toughest fight. See a lot of comments on any Rocky Legends video that I ever watched on YouTube asking how to do the power punches. Do the power punches, you tap the uppercut modifier 3 times followed by left or right punch. There you go, don't say I don't give you nothing. Look at this uber comeback. What a brutal straight right hand by Drago. Just as a side note, dudes, I just want to say I've really enjoyed making this video. I enjoyed getting the footage. I've enjoyed commentating about one of my favourite film series. Anyone who's been subscribed to my channel for a couple of years might know that I once posted a similar video on Rocky Legends. I had to delete it before I got partnered because it had third-party content on it, and that's why I had to redo the video. It's a completely new video, which you probably know by now, but I've had an absolute whale of a time making this, so I honestly hope it comes through on the video itself, and I hope you enjoy it too. Rocky eventually gets the win against Drago right at the last dregs of the match, and this fight actually retires Rocky because he gets too much brain trauma and the doctors tell him to quit fighting. Then we go to Rocky 5, the absolute turd of the Rocky series.
That's it, you're out. The winner by knockout, Rocky Balboa.
Rocky 5. What can you say about Rocky 5? Okay, Rocky's retired and he trains an up-and-coming fighter called Tommy Gunn, who was actually the recently deceased Tommy Morrison real-life boxer. I'm not a great fan of this film, and I think most people would admit that this is the turd of the series. They have a big street fight at the end. It's not actually a boxing match, it's a street fight because Rocky trains Tommy Gunn to be a boxer and they fall out at the end and it's a street fight. There's also an underlying story about Rocky's son getting in trouble and fighting and stuff. It's not a very good film, you know. I think Rocky Balboa in 2006 is a much better film for a sequel. But the reality is it's just not very good. Tommy Gunn is not I don't even consider him a great opponent of Rocky's. It weren't a boxing match. I'm just not a great fan of the 5th film. I just wish it never really happened. It's one of them, you know. Just to briefly talk about the 5th film and not just moan about it, the underlying story here is the doctors tell Rocky he can't box after the Ivan Drago fight because of brain damage. Adrian's brother Paulie makes some bad decisions. They lose all their money, so they end up back in the ghetto in Philadelphia, like where they came from. So they lose all their money and they're back to the ghetto. An up-and-coming fighter called Tommy Gunn comes and finds Rocky, and Rocky helps train him to become a boxer. I suppose the premise is pretty good. It's just very, very poorly executed in this film, and I mean, you see here I'm fighting in a boxing ring. It's nothing like the actual fight at the end of Rocky 5, where it's a kind of a proper street fight. All in all, a poor effort for the series, and like I said, I think Rocky Balboa from 2006 is a much better effort, and Rocky 4 is just such a hard act to follow. You know, they should have probably just left it there, but it is what it is, folks. As far as skill sets go and tough opponents, I don't think Tommy Gunn rates up there with Clubber Lang or Ivan Drago or even Apollo Creed. He's kind of a young punk kid in the film, and beats a champion to get the title who isn't particularly great. The reason why it's such a tough fight for Rocky is because Rocky's no longer training, and all the time he's having headaches and things from the brain trauma he's had, so he has to kind of be careful about how many shots to the head he takes. So all in all, I don't think Tommy Gunn is a particularly difficult opponent for Rocky, and you know, after Ivan Drago, I think it was just such a hard act to follow. In this game, it's quite an easy match, you know, you just have to knock him down 3 times. I hope you've really enjoyed this, guys. Like I said before in the commentary, I really enjoyed bringing it to you. This is one of my favourite videos I've ever made, and I hope it shows how much I like the Rocky series. Hit that like, comment and subscribe, guys. It means a great deal, because this was about 6 hours worth of effort for this video, so I sincerely hope the effort came through. Alright, Sakuraba out. See you later, guys.